Let's talk for a moment. What is an affiliate program and how can your home service business help and be helped from this? And really quickly, hey, I'm Carl Stoy, the founder of Stoy Media. And over the past year and a half, almost 2 years now, we've been helping service businesses scale with paid ads and getting them more opportunities in the door to sell people. But I want to talk about what is an affiliate program for your home service company. And in all honesty, if your home service company can consistently set appointments at least a 30%, 30 to 20%, and can consistently close at least 20 to 30% close rate, this is going to be your kind of unlock to get your business to wherever you want to get to, 100 million, $1 billion. And the fact of the matter is, if your roofing company or your home service company or your modeling or your window company can consistently close people and consistently set appointments and you can make ads work, the only thing that's going to hold you back is spending more money on ads and getting more leads. And at some point, you've got to get on affiliates. And I can tell you one thing for sure. The big companies, franchises, and also, $10 million and plus home service businesses, they're going to benefit from this because they need more affiliates and more people to run ads for them. So they're not going to have one marketing agency like Stoy Media. Instead, they're going to have an affiliate like Stoy Media to be running their ads for them, whether that's branded or not branded, on their own pages, filter them for your company's criteria, filter it, and go under your allowable cost per lead so that they can make some money. And you buy the leads at your allowable cost per lead. And let's talk about how can you actually get to this allowable cost per lead and how does it work? And just to summarize once again, you are opening up your ads or your inbound leads from agencies and affiliates to anyone who's willing to go and sell you leads at your cost per lead. That's essentially the basis of it. The big companies who want to grow don't usually have all their eggs in one basket with one agency or one affiliate or one pay-per-lead provider. They have many. So you open it up and say, whoever can get roofing or remodeling or window replacement leads under this cost per lead, they can work with us and we'll buy leads from you. Because when you have all your systems down, the only thing that's going to be holding you back is just getting more leads. So how does this work? You first need to start at your allowable CAC, your cost to acquire a customer. That's it. How much money are you willing to give up on every roof replacement or window replacement or bathroom remodel or stair lift or carport or there's so many different things, services that you can do, especially if you're a home service business, that you can do and you can have affiliates run ads for. And you just need to understand what is your allowable cost to acquire that project and say, now let's work our way backwards. So you need to know your cost to acquire, but then there's two specific numbers that you need to know to formulate this affiliate program properly for your home service company. And that's your close rate and your booking rate. So we're gonna just do this. So your close rate and your booking rate. And I recommend that you have a close rate above 20% and a booking rate. Of course, this really depends on your leads. So I want to talk about this really quickly and just caveat. So you're not going to essentially open up your affiliates to anyone. I said you open it to everyone, but you take a sample size out of them. So you say, okay, we're willing to test 50 leads out of you. We'll give you X dollars. Let's see what you do with it. And so if you can get above a 20% booking rate on those leads, which by the way, heavily affects or is dependent on your systems, which I'll talk about how to make sure you get a better booking rate. But if you're doing everything that I'm about to tell you to make sure your booking rate is at least 20%, then it's just going to be a matter of, here's our open affiliate program for anyone who wants to be a lead vendor of ours, and then give us an X amount of leads, we'll pay you, give us X amount of leads, we can make sure that the booking rate is good and that your leads are not trash. Because the truth is, some affiliates are gonna run those ads where it's like, opt in for a, submit your email for the chance to enter a free iPad. It's like, come on, you're not gonna convert those leads. So you give them a sample size and say, give me 50 and I'll just make sure that they're good. Of course, you're gonna pay for it, but you're going to evaluate all the leads and then decide from there. And the big companies understand that A qualified lead is not someone who closes, it's someone who's interested. And they understand that, hey, you may only get in contact with 30% of them, 50% if you do the tips that I'm about to tell you, and you're going to get some duds. That's just kind of how marketing is. And you have to accept that you're going to pay for leads who don't respond, and you're going to pay for leads who turn into big projects. It's just how marketing works. Now, I'm going to talk about like 3 different tips really quickly. So number 1, that's call in less than 2 minutes. I'm going to just make sure I write this right. So this way, 2 minutes. So as soon as the lead comes in, 2 minutes is maximum that you should be waiting before you give them a call. You better make sure that your call center or your office manager is sitting there ready to dial the phones within 2 minutes of this lead coming in. Just boop, 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 in and calling them, and has a good setting process, which is another one, having a good setting process. You want to make sure that they're going to be setting appointments good. They have a good script, which by the way, I can include a link in the description for a good setting process for leads, which will help your reps set more leads by having this good script. But it really comes down to calling leads within 2 minutes, which is a really big problem we see some people not doing, and that's calling them whenever they get the chance. You're not going to be able to get in contact with people. That's just how it works. You better call within 2 minutes, or set up an AI voice agent, which Stoy Media can help you with, and that's setting up an AI voice agent to start calling all the leads. But at least make sure someone is available, because some people don't want to talk to the AI. Some people don't want to be set an appointment by an AI. So just make sure that there's someone around. But an AI voice agent does work, and they're getting pretty realistic nowadays, so you can. But the third tip to make sure you can get your booking rate above 20% is just making sure the reps or your call center have a good setup. I mean, that's the truth. Having a good setup. Oh, and follow-up process. And follow-up process. I mean, that's kind of, it's a little truncated. Honestly, we're just gonna make that number 4. I'll just kind of talk about that really quickly. So follow-up process. So good setup is just for, hey, they've got a decent mic. They don't have this buzzing in the background. It's not annoying. And they also have like I said, this kind of goes into the script where they're making sure they're saying the right things. They have a good setup. Like they have a phone that's not going to show up as spam. It's going to say your company name as the caller ID. This is a good setup that is also going to increase your booking rate. But then number 4, which I kind of meant to make number 4, but hey, God reminded me of this third one. So anyways, number 4, having a good follow-up process and not just calling the leads once. I know you may be guilty of this. Don't just call the leads once. Here's our process to make sure you can get a good booking rate. Call, obviously, within the first 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds of the lead coming in. As soon as the rep gets the notification, boop, click the lead. That's it. Next, you want to call. So let's say they opt in the morning. With ideal circumstances, they opt in the morning. But chances are the lead is going to come throughout the day. So just make sure you adapt this follow-up process to the rep. But lead comes in, first thing, boom. Next thing, you want to call at noon. So of noon, the same day. Now, let's say they come in at noon, you want to call them at 3 p.m. So these are the 3 times that you want to call them in the first day. As soon as they come in, noon and 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. if your reps around, which by the way, you're more likely to get in contact with people if you call them around 5 p.m. It's actually scientifically backed that also, come on, if they work 9 to 5, chances are they're gonna be out of work at 5. Or they're not gonna care about work and they're just gonna be able to answer the phone. So like 5, 5:30, 6 p.m. is when people are going to answer the phones, especially if they've opted in. And like I mentioned, if they come in at like noon, just call them at 5 p.m. and then start the next day at the same process of 8 a.m., I would say noon, and then 5 p.m. So we're gonna do this. I believe this is p.m. If 12 p.m. being noon is wrong, correct me in the comments. I'm totally sorry, but this is the process. 8 a.m., noon, 5 p.m. Call them like that for 2 days. So as soon as they come in, you wanna call them at 8 a.m. or whenever they've come in, noon, 5 p.m. Next day, 8 a.m., noon, 5 p.m. And then for the 3 extra days, you want to do a 5-day follow-up process. For the 3 extra days after that, call them once a day at 5 p.m. or 8 a.m. Most likely, if a 9-to-5 worker, because you have to assume that's probably what your homeowner is, like a lot of people are W-2 9-to-5 workers, so it's better to make this kind of process work and call them at 8 a.m. Because they're most likely going to be getting the kids ready, have a moment before work, maybe it's their quiet time without the kids or whatever they're doing. Chances are 8 a.m. is going to be a pretty sweet spot for a lot of people to be able to respond. But if your reps aren't in at 8 a.m., have them just call at 5 or 6 p.m. and that's going to increase your booking rate. But let's get back into the tacticalness of how to make sure you can put together a good affiliate program for your home service business. But these are the 4 tips of how to increase your booking rate, and I'll make a totally different video, how to increase your booking rate for your leads and make sure that all your leads are, you squeeze as much juice as possible out of every single lead. Make sure also with the follow-up process that you include text messages. Good text messages with good copywriting also increase the contact rate a lot, because if someone is at work, they're pretty likely to just text you back really quickly. But let's go in. Then, from all these numbers, to find your ideal cost per lead, which is what we're going to be talking about. To find, and I'll make a different video specifically breaking down in details how to make sure you get your ideal cost per lead and how to figure that out for your home service company. You want to start with these 2 numbers of your close rate and your booking rate, and these being at least 20%. If they're not at least 20%, you need to fix your follow-up process, because if you can think about it like a pipeline, like a big pipeline with buckets, and at certain points water leaks out. If you got a lot of water leaking out as soon as they show up to the appointment, that's not good. If you patch that up, you could literally get from the same amount of money that you've been spending on marketing, you can get 20% more results and 20% more sales if you just fix the sales process or you fix the booking rate issue. So back to kind of what I'm saying. But finding that ideal allowable cost per lead is your way to be able to tell all the agencies, all the lead providers like Story Media, hey, I need a $75 lead, and that's gonna be our allowable cost per lead to make sure we can hit our CAC. And so for these numbers, let's really quickly set a imaginary $1,000, I'll just put $1,000 here, but we're gonna do the math over here on the left. So I really hope you can see this. So we're gonna say $1,000 per project. Your $15,000 roof replacement or your $25,000 bathroom remodel, you're going to only give up $1,000 for the project. And if you're not willing to give up, I would say more than $500 per project, you need to raise your prices or just cough up more money, unless you've got some killer sales reps. Unless you've got some killer sales reps and some low prices, you're not really gonna be able to figure that out, but just follow along with your allowable cost per acquisition. I would say minimum, allow $500. But of course, I don't know your ticket and I don't have your situation out here, so just do yours. So let's say $1,000 per project. Now, let's work our way backwards for 100 leads. Okay, 100 leads with a 20% booking rate, you're going to get 20 appointments. So 100 leads, 20 appointments. Then from that, you close 20%, meaning 4 closes. Which of these 4 closes, you need to make sure that you have only spent $4,000 to get these 4 closes, okay? So I hope this kind of makes sense where we're at right now. There we go. Okay, let's just kind of remove some of these markers. So you've had 100 leads, 20 appointments at a 20% booking rate, and 4 closes at a 20% close rate, which I'm sure your sales reps can do better than that. We're gonna use these numbers. And you're only allowing yourself to spend $4,000 to get these 4 closes. So then, let's do the math backwards. What is $4,000 divided by 100 leads? What can you cough up? $4,000 divided by 100 is $40 per lead. There you go. The fact is, I want to tell you, so I'm not going to specifically say for what industry you are, because this is home services. This is anyone who is a franchise or a franchisee, or you have like a $10 million or more company looking to get more leads because your processes are good, your set rate is even better, and you can consistently close people, then this is gonna have to just specifically make sense for you. But I would say if you're a roofing company, I would say you should at least be able to give up $75 per lead. That's like the minimum. And if you're a roofing company watching this, we currently do a pay per exclusive roof replacement lead program. I'm not gonna say the specific pricing because I'm not sure when you can watch this, but just click the link in the description. We can just work out a deal and you can fill out some basic business information. I'm not saying it's going to be $75 per roof replacement lead because they're heavily filtered and those are juicy leads. So I wanna make sure that you get a specific price based on your scenario, based on your close rate, based on everything. So I wanna make sure you get a specific price that's gonna work with you and just kind of make sure that all your numbers make sense before you do this. Because this is something that's going to blow up your business. If you can get a lot of lead providers and lots of lead sources and you know your system can consistently handle more leads because you already have a good set process and a good closing process and everyone's kind of working together and you're getting consistent sales with it because you have a good sales manager and you have a good setting process because you already have a call center manager. What are you waiting for? Just put more leads in the system and you're gonna get more out. So an affiliate program is what's gonna help a lot of home service businesses if they're willing to invest that money. So in this scenario where you have a 20% close rate and a 20% booking rate and you're only willing to give up $1,000 per project, a $40 lead is what you will market, and you wouldn't market this, but you would have like a page on your website that says affiliate program, and you just say X dollars per lead. This is what we're willing to give up. And I'm gonna tell you this, if you don't get affiliates submitting that form, looking to be your affiliate, your cost per lead might be a little low. I can tell you that. If nobody's submitting anything, I would say your cost per lead might be a little bit low, and I would say, hey, just raise your prices a little bit. Raise your prices so that you can charge the affiliates more. Because if you do, and I'm warning you really quickly, if you're a home service business looking to do this affiliate program, if you set your cost per lead really low, I'm telling you this as someone who is in the affiliate space and is a lead gen provider, is a lead provider for home service businesses. We work with home service clients as an agency, and if you want to be our lead buyer, then we would love to onboard you and love to work with you. But I want to say this is, if you force affiliates for your home service business to get really, really cheap leads, they're going to do some really aggressive stuff. It's just kind of the way it works. Of course, on $40 per lead, the affiliate or the lead provider needs to make some money, right? So it makes sense that they're going to need to have some margin. And talk with affiliates. Hey, if you want to jump on a call with Stoy Media, we would love to kind of help you position what this cost per lead should be and potentially be one of your lead providers to start out, just to make sure you can dial in what is a good cost per lead cost. But you need to make sure the affiliates make money, or else they're going to do really aggressive, non-compliant stuff that's just going to get you a bunch of crap leads who aren't going to convert, and you would have just wasted your money anyways. So it's kind of like, if I had a great example, let's take your home service. Whatever your home service is, it's kind of like forcing the home service company, your industry, so like let's say you do roofing or Christmas lights or whatever, forcing you to go really low on the price and the homeowner still expecting a good job. That's kind of like what you would be expecting if you force affiliates to get a really cheap lead. Because it's like you, in trying to give them the best service, give them leads that are gonna, or whatever you're installing, that's gonna be really nice and it's gonna last, but you're forced into a really small budget. You're gonna end up cutting corners, picking something that's, some Chinese, whatever, that's just may work, it may not work. It's just a Hail Mary, you just wanna throw it just to see if it might land. Just because you're on such a tight budget and you still want the work. So if you force people into such a low cost per lead, you're gonna get affiliates who are gonna do some outlandish stuff that may not ruin your reputation unless you do branded stuff, which is it's a specific, I wanna talk about like niche of people who can run affiliate traffic for you, for your home service business, which is where they use your logo and likeness to be able to build that trust to get them that lower cost per lead. Because if you're like a really big company in your area, someone using your company logo and company name in their ads, even though they're paying for all the ads filtering them, it's going to help them get a lower cost per lead and help them kind of hit that goal because you already have a brand in the area. But if you're not doing branded traffic, they're gonna do some outlandish stuff just to make some money. And that's just what you're forcing them into. So it's really important that you make sure you pick a good cost per lead that also makes sure the media buyer and the lead vendor makes some money. So if you're interested in learning more in just setting up a quick intro call and a advisory call with me or someone on my team at Stoy Media, it's probably gonna be me, to be able to talk about what is a good cost per lead work if you're looking to set up an affiliate program or looking to have us to be your lead provider, then tap one of the links in the description or go to stoymedia.com and feel free to book a call, and we'd love to chat with you. And if you got any comments, the comments are for free.